Go, go, Power Rangers! God, that song was my anthem until I was like 12. Still kinda is, not gonna lie. But sadly, recent Power Rangers has been less than fantastic. Not all awful, Beast Morphers and Dino Charge are alright, but this, less so. So today, I'm taking charge of the situation and creating my own brand new Power Rangers to celebrate this series' 30th anniversary. Wow, is it seriously that old? Damn. It's Morphin time. People who know me personally, or coming to this once I have more videos up, know that I mostly make pitches for movies. This will not be a movie. This will be a TV show. There are two reasons. First of all, Power Rangers is primarily a TV franchise. They've made like 3 movies and 2 of them are non-canon, so I'm gonna try to stick to the source material for that much at least. And 2, the more of this I planned out, the more I realized I could not possibly handle having all of this in one movie unless I either cut out a lot of what I wanted to do or made the movie like 20 hours long. So this is gonna be a show. Not like a normal Power Rangers show though. This is gonna be like an 11 to 12 episode miniseries. Something along the lines of what you'd find on Netflix, so longer episodes and expected that you'll be either binging it or watching it like an episode a day or something. So no like episodic, last time on Power Rangers stuff. We good? Good. On with the show. Episode 1, Origins. The show begins with a monologue from our as-of-yet unnamed protagonist. Everyone has heroes they look up to. Incredibly strong, courageous people they grow up hearing stories about. For some, they're knights, chivalrous champions of their country who will return in their country's greatest time of need. For others, they're superheroes, powerful beings who use their godlike powers to stop evil because they know it's the right thing to do. For me, they were the Rangers. Everyone has a different story of who the Rangers were. Some say they were magic-wielding heroes. Others say they were righteous samurai who defended against evil. One guy even said they were dinosaur-riding teenagers with attitude. He was weird. The green powerhouse, the pink heart, the yellow brain, the blue lancer, and at the front of the team, the red leader. The hero who found and united them all. My idol. Now, we finally get a face shot of our narrator, along with a caption box, saying, Tyrann, they, them. Quick side note, all the major characters will get caption boxes like it's a comic book, just roll with it. Now, I don't have super clear images for these characters in my head, so you can just imagine them how you want. Each of them just has like 1 or 2 facets of them that's fairly important. For T, all that really matters is someone that's skinny, young, and has dark hair. Everything else, up to you. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of Jack Dylan Grazer. You probably know him as either Freddy in Shazam or Eddie in It. All the actors are going to be at least a bit, and in some cases significantly, older than the characters they're playing. But, A, 30-year-old teenagers is pretty much a tradition for Power Rangers at this point. And B, you can just use your imagination. T's mom calls them in for dinner, and then berates them for thinking about the Rangers, who everyone knows are a myth. She says something about how T should look into colleges, and that makes them really mad because their family is just not in a position to send anyone to college. The scene ends with T storming off to their bedroom. T shoots a quick text to their friend Mindy and climbs out the window. Now, we get our theme song, which I'm not musical enough to make, so don't ask me to. And that reveals the title of this series. Power Rangers, The Next Generation. The next scene is in a bedroom that's clearly from a pretty well-off family. T climbs in through the window, and we meet our next major character, Mindy. She she, her. Okay, I know I said that I don't have clear images for any of these characters, but that's not entirely true. I have a very clear image in mind for Mindy. Rain Sage from Tales of Symphonia. Problem is, Rain has a very strange design, and I don't really know of any actors who look like her, so I'm not entirely sure what to do here. I think I'll just use clips and images of Rain for any time Mindy is talking. Once again, back on track. You know, most people use the door. I'm not most people. Besides, if your parents know I'm here, they'll tell my mom, who I think will actually murder me if I'm caught sneaking out one more time. T opens up their backpack and shows a book that makes Mindy very excited. T, is this what I think it is? This is D.E. Ross's book on folktales and urban legends. How did you get your hands on this? The library? It must have been added pretty recently. I've been looking all over for this thing. Mindy starts very excitedly reading through the book. Text on the screen says that it's an hour later, and T is sitting at her computer playing video games, while Mindy is reading through the book. This is fascinating, but there's something else I found as well. Every few pages, there's a seemingly random number or letter at the bottom. Pass me my laptop. Mindy plugs a random string of numbers and letters into an anagram calculator on her computer. It's an address! 1993 Skullovich Drive. These numbers are clearly here for a reason. I think we should... No time! We told Amaya and Perry we'd meet them at the juice bar in 2 minutes! You're right, and if we blow this again, Perry's gonna kill us! Two of them bust out a window, and the next scene was of them sitting in the Angel Grove juice bar, talking to two new characters. Amaya, she, her, and Perry, she, they. I'm not gonna go on another long monologue about the characters. Amaya, I've been envisioning as a person of color since I made her up, so I'm thinking Maisie Richardson Sellers for her. Primarily because I got her name from Amaya Jiwei in Legends of Tomorrow, so I've just been imagining her even though she's like 30, and this Amaya is supposed to be like 17. And Perry just needs to be fit. Just imagine Olivia Cook, who I'm gonna be using clips of, with like dark, choppy hair, and you pretty much have Perry I was envisioning like perfectly. Now, for not quite the last time, back on track. Perry spends the first half of the conversation just smiling stupidly at Amaya, but Mindy gets her to start talking about cryptids, and that makes her open up and start getting enthusiastic. Amaya spots that Perry has a cheetah shirt on and strikes up a conversation about it, making Perry get flustered until she realizes that Amaya is actually, like, super chill. Hey, can you tell that I have absolutely no idea how to write scenes that don't advance the plot? After hanging out for a little while, T and Mindy head to the address they found. 1993, Skullovich Drive. When they get there, someone opens the door. Someone that they don't recognize, but we do. An old, fat man wearing a punk leather jacket. Farkas Bulkmeyer, better known as Bulk. Bulk tries to act tough and intimidating for a while, but he completely gives up the act once he realizes why they're there. Oh yeah, I know about the Power Rangers. I was a big fan of them back in the day. I even helped them save the world a couple times. Can you tell I haven't watched nearly enough Mighty Morphin to have any clue how this guy talks? Mindy explains that they're looking for anything to do with the Rangers, and Bulk shows them a code that he was given, but was never smart enough to figure out. Mindy takes one look at it and figures it out. Sir, that's not even a code. That's coordinates. Here, I'll plug them into my GPS. She does exactly that, and she finds a portion of the map that's obscured by the machines. Well, then it's gotta be worthwhile. I want to disagree with you, but right now I really can't. Let's go. Bulk takes the two of them in his truck, and after 6 hours of nothing, they're greeted to the middle of nowhere. Or so it seems. Mindy spots some strange markings on the ground, and when she investigates, she finds a button. She hits that button. A doorway opens in the ground, leading to a secret cave. They walk down into the cave, where things light up, and they see a giant floating head in a tube. Roll credits. Episode 2. Some assembly required. Zordon, sensing the room has been opened, immediately wakes up and gives his speech. Hello, humans. I am Zordon, an interdimensional being staying in the morphing grid to survive. You 5 have... Wait. I only see 3 of you, and one of you is 70. Bulk tells him that he's actually 67, and Zordon recognizes him. Ah, Bulkmeyer. Good to see you again. I thought I told you to bring me 5 teenagers, not 2. Yeah, Zordo, about that, I need 5 people to organize the team. There have been teams with less, but I have not organized them. Wait. Go back a step or 12. If you need 5 people, and you need the Rangers, then I'm confused as hell! Mindy tells them to stop being an idiot and explains the situation that you all have hopefully figured out already. The blue one is right. Now, bring me 3 more people and you shall become Power Rangers! The 3 humans head out, and it's only once they're in Bulk's truck, heading back, that Mindy asks the obvious question. Wait a second. How are we supposed to get 3 more people? Most of the world just thinks the Rangers are a myth. Most, but not all. Roll theme song. The next scene is of Tyran in a Taekwondo class sparring with a black belt. T gets beaten, and then, when they ask for a rematch, the black belt says, "Talk to me when you're not so pathetic." T gets so pissed they straight up almost just punch the guy right then and there, but Amaya walks in at just the right time. Amaya calms them down. The 2 of them start practicing defenses, and there's a shot of T striking and Amaya just freezing up. That won't come into play again. Totally. While they're practicing, T springs the question. Hey, you know the Rangers, right? Those are like your superheroes, aren't they? Yeah, I know about them from you talking to me. Fair enough. Well, I got some hard evidence. Oh? They're real. We need 3 more people. You in? I always wanted to be a superhero. Hell yeah, I'm in. We have another cut, and now Mindy is calling up Perry. Hey, Perry, do you remember the Rangers? They're the mythical superheroes that T really likes, yeah? Precisely. How would you like to be one? They're cool, and I want to believe you, but I can't. I love folklore, and I want them to be real, but Amaya's in. How do I sign up? They have 4. They just need a 5th. The next scene is of Tyran and Mindy talking to one another after school. Also, there's a sign in the background that says, "Congrats, class of 2042. So there you go. I can stop trying to figure out how to explain the passage of time in this story, and you just know. This is set end of the school year in 2042, way after the Rangers. While they're talking, a group of dumbass run-of-the-mill bullies walk up and start harassing them. Hey, look, it's the nerds! We're still talking about the Rangers! Did Santa Claus bring you anything good? Did the Tooth Fairy visit you last night? Mindy cowers, while Tyran looks at them and tries to stand their ground. Shut up! Oh, boo-hoo, is Baby Tiger gonna cry about it? Look into my eyes! You see any tears? I'm starting to! Look at this nerd trying to defend himself! You couldn't hold your own against a 5-year-old! Suddenly, a mysterious stranger enters. I could give you a description of him, but we'll get his name and stuff later on, so I'm not gonna bother with it quite yet. Hey, you two, knock it off. Oh look, a new baby came to play. You're that guy who always leaves early to take care of his mommy. I said, knock it off. Or would you prefer to leave today with half your teeth missing? Oh, I'm so scared. Fine, maybe this'll change your mind. The mysterious stranger punches one of the bullies right in his jaw. Did that clear your head a bit? Get out. The bullies scram, and T thanks the new guy. saw you and Mindy in trouble. I wanted to help. Oh, do you and Mindy know each other? Yeah, we've been friends for a few years now. Name's Finn, by the way. You're on. Now that his name's been revealed, I'll give you a short briefing on Finn, him. All that really matters is he's buff and he has a deep voice. I've kind of been imagining him like Rick Tyler from Stargirl, so I use clips of his actor, Cameron Gellman. Now, for what's actually the last time, back on track. The next day, T spots Finn hanging out at the juice bar and goes over to her. Hey, Finn, can I ask you something? Yeah, sure. Do you know anything about the Rangers? They're that group of urban legend superheroes from like 30 years ago, right? Well, they're real. How would you like to be one? I'll pass. Mindy, having overheard the conversation, enters. Finn, come on! You're the bravest person I know, but you have the perfect heart to be a ranger. Mindy, you're in on this too? Fine, I guess I'll give you a chance. Yay! Bulk and Finn drive all 5 of them to the underground power chamber. Hey Zordo! I brought you your 5 teams, you happy? Thank you, Bulkmeyer. You 5 teenagers with attitude have been picked because... Well, actually I'm not sure. Why have they been picked? I think I can answer this one. Mindy, you're a genius. None of us would be here if you hadn't figured out the clues in Raz's book. Amaya, you have a heart of gold. You care deeply about animals, and you're a great fighter. Peri, you're the only one I didn't pick. The group chuckles, and Mindy fills in the gap. Peri, you're sweet, you have a level of confidence almost no one can match, at least when you're not looking at Amaya. Peri goes bright red on that one. And your ability to draw anything you see makes you great at showing us threats we don't know yet. And Finn, despite not even knowing me, you protected me from those bullies. You take care of your mother, even though at your age, she should be protecting you. You have the heart of a rabbit, the strength of a rhino, and the bravery of a dragon. I can't think of anyone I'd rather have by my side as the 5th Ranger. The episode ends with all 5 of them being presented with their morphers. Speaking of, here are those morphers. Yeah, it's a pretty simple air-mounted design, but that's kind of the point. It's not supposed to be complicated. At this point in the story, they've only just started their journeys. They're barely even rangers. Most of them are just in on this because someone asked them to and they felt bad. It would make sense they wouldn't have advanced morphers yet, and we'll get to that later on. Episode 3. Time to get serious. The episode starts with the reveal of our villains. We see this chick, Malira, gaslight gatekeep girl bossing a bunch of these guys, the Malaters. Soon, our big bad enters, Maloues, looking exactly as menacing, and also silly, as someone with the name Maloues rightly should be. He tells them that there's a new threat to their mission, and their home. A group of no-fun goody-goods called the Power Rangers. He sends out Malira, who we somehow find out to be like the second in command, along with a group of Malaters to take out the Rangers. With the shockingly fast cold open done, it's once again time for our theme song. The Rangers are in the power chamber training. Most of them are just like working on their fighting or working out, but Mindy is reading the Historia of the Power Rangers. Peri and Amaya are having a series of contests, like most push-ups, most punching bag hits, etc. But Peri keeps losing because she gets distracted staring at Amaya. Amaya asks if she's alright, recognizing that something is up, not what. Peri gets super red and starts focusing a lot more on working out, so she actually scores a few wins for once. Bulk walks in to let them all know that Zordo's got a message for them. They go into the central control room, and Zordon tells them something big. Rangers, I have seen you 5 training, and I realize something. You know how to be heroes, but not how to be Power Rangers. That's why I brought in Damon Henderson, Vida Rocca, Kevin Douglas, and Lily Chillman. Those four appear, all obviously significantly older than they were in their original series, on account of this being 30 plus years after their original series. These four are the greatest Rangers from all time. Here too. Wait, us? I appreciate the compliment, but is there really no one better? Not your original group? Not any unified group at all? Just this haphazard gang of four Rangers who have never even met you or each other? Well, Lily, there's a simple explanation for that. They wait. They wait some more. Are you going to tell us what that simple explanation is? Of course. That was just, as you would say, an inside joke I had with one of my students. You four are the only ones left. Wait, what? I am an interdimensional being, but not a time-displaced one. I can only pull Rangers who are still alive. I was just talking to Casey and Theo 10 minutes ago. Have you ever tried to make those two do anything? That's a very good point. Precisely. You four are the only Rangers who are still alive, are in this dimension, and are willing to help me. And aren't the Overdrive team. No one likes the Overdrive team. Tyron cuts in. Hey, that's all well and good, but do you really not have any good Red Rangers left? Tyron, you are the most promising Red Ranger I have seen in almost 50 years. There is only one Ranger I would even consider letting train you. Sadly, I'm yet to find him. Until then, just make do on your own. The Rangers are about to go start training with their new mentors, but an alert cuts in. They're under attack! Rangers, a new threat has appeared outside. Go and defend this place! 5 Rangers, not the mentors, we'll get to why later, run outside and morph. They have a morphing sequence, but I ain't making it. I don't have money. I don't have special effects. I cannot make something like that. So just use your imagination. I do have their morphing call. For blue, yellow, green, and pink, they yell, "Go go Power Rangers! Next generation, Blue Ranger!" Obviously they don't actually all say Blue Ranger, but there's no point saying what all of them actually say. Tyron, though, not having a mentor, doesn't have confidence either. He runs up last and says, yeah, next gen red, morph. Here's the costume. At this point in the story, all the costumes are identical, so that will change a couple of times. So I didn't see the point in drawing it separately when they'd all just be palette swaps. I know that this costume looks stupid, but that's intentional. Like the thing with the Morphers, they're not super advanced as Rangers yet, so their costumes match that. The Rangers fight through an army of Malators with a mix of wire foo and weird explosions, as is Power Rangers tradition. Malera herself, though, is a bit trickier. Malera uses magic to knock away everyone except T, who manages to hold their own. They start to brawl, and T can get in quite a few good hits while Malera recharges, but once she does, T knows they can't win in a straight fight. They play it smart. They let themselves get knocked to the ground, with Malera saying, "Pathetic," before turning to leave. T almost gets back up right then and there, but they keep their temper in check and whisper something into the suit's comm system. Amaya gets up and runs in front of Malera, surprising her just long enough to get in one good hit before being sent flying. She's not hurt physically, but after being hit so hard, she starts to have a mini panic attack. The Sister of Sin. I came up with that as a joke, but it really worked, so I'm sticking with it. The Sister of Sin may have blasted the Yellow Ranger away, but she was so distracted that she gave Finn a chance to get up right behind her and put her in a chokehold. Perry darts up and punches her in the face, setting her long enough for T to go in and chomp the pressure point in her ribs. Malera elbows Finn in the gut, letting her get free. She says this is finally getting interesting, and morphs. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention this, but like Camille in Jungle Fury, she can sort of like morph, kinda. She has a suit. It's this. The rest of the fight goes pretty much how you'd expect, with the Rangers working together to fight. Sadly, Amaya is out of commission having a meltdown, and Mindy is trying to comfort her. So the two of them aren't really able to fight, leading to the team being defeated. The Rangers return to the power chamber, and the episode ends with all 5 Rangers and all 4 mentors putting their hands in the center and raising them while saying, "Power Rangers!" Just like at the end of Day of the Dumpster. Episode 4, The Amaya-Peri Power-Up, Part 1. Even though the title makes it pretty obvious who this episode's actually going to be focusing on, it starts at Tehran's house. They're getting lectured from their mom. Doesn't matter what about, just something along the lines of like, "You've been out of the house so long, young man!" All that matters is that it continues to show that T's home life isn't great, so that we have a reason for them to storm off to their room once again. This time though, unlike episode 1, they text Amaya to ask if they can come over. The next scene is of Amaya sitting in a messed up looking kitchen. She's eating a bowl of soup, with their parents in the background fighting. When she gets the text from T, she walks off to her room, leaving the bowl by itself. Her dad yells something about not wasting food, and she calls back, "Then you eat that shit!" without looking behind her. T comes in through the window, and Amaya asks why they're at her hellhole instead of Mindy's place. She's busy. Thinks she felt bad about not helping in the fight yesterday. Damn, so why'd you come over? Just needed to get out of the house, and with Mindy not wanting me to bother her, you were the first person I thought of. They chit-chat for a little while, and T asks Amaya if she's okay, having seen her meltdown during the fight yesterday and in sparring a few days prior. Yeah, I'm fine. Well, if you insist. You know what? Yeah, I do need to talk about this. Can I dump something on you? Go ahead. I'm all ears. Amaya then proceeds to dump her entire traumatic backstory on Tay, and by extension, on us, the audience. Basically, her parents are almost never home, and when they are home, they're always fighting, either with her or with each other. The family's running into financial trouble at the moment, and for once, her parents can actually agree on something. Blame the kid! They've been getting more aggressive lately, and last week, they hit me. I'm sorry, what? So yeah, kid's got issues. No wonder she's getting freaked out by being hit. They go back to more lighthearted chatting, and Peri gets brought up. Amaya's worried about her because of how much she's been zoning out during training and stuff. Oh, yeah, she likes you. Hang on, seriously? Yeah, was it not obvious? You didn't hear this from me, but according to Mindy, Peri was hesitant until hearing the words, "Amaya's in." Wow! Did not pick up on that. Though, I suppose we have been busy lately. You can say that again. A couple seconds of awkward silence, then Amaya asks, "So, speaking of, you into anyone at the moment?" "No, I'm not into that sort of thing. Like, at all. How about you?" "Well, there is another reason I was too dense to pick up on Peri's hints." "You're kidding. I wish." "So ask her out already, Amaya!" It cuts to Peri, who's in the power chamber learning magic with Vita. She asks if it's all really necessary. "Zordon told us to train you the way our mentors trained us. I learned magic as a Mystic Ranger, so you're learning it too." "But I'm already a boxer! I can fight just fine with my fists. I don't need all this crazy magic bullshit." "Fine. Go out there, fists only, and be completely useless to the team because you're the only one not listening to your mentor." Ooh, she should not have said that. Peri throws down the practice wand she was using, puts on her boxing gloves, and storms off to the punching bags. There's a scene change, and while it is the same spot, stuff has clearly changed, and it's clearly later on. Peri is all sweaty and has headphones on, Mindy is standing off in the background working on symbol power, and Finn is just working out. Amaya enters and goes up to Peri. "Hey, Peri, you good? You seem pissed." No response. Earth to Peri? No response. Amaya yanks Peri's headphones off. "Ask Vita." Peri puts them back on. Amaya yanks them back off and keeps hold of them this time. Okay, you clearly need to talk about something. What happened? Peri sits down on the floor. Vita called me useless. I'm sorry, what? Back up a step or 12. Peri explains what happened and then goes into traumatic backstory reveal number 2! Basically, her parents were like over-the-top helicopter parents who always expected her to be the best at pretty much everything, and if she wasn't, they'd call her a failure. And useless. That gave her this huge inferiority complex because she always felt like she had to be the best at everything, or else she would never amount to anything. That made her want to be rebellious, which is why she started boxing. When I was in the ring, I could finally let loose. All the pent-up rage I had in my life I could inflict on other people in the arena. And it helped that I could finally be the best at something I wanted for a change. At the end of the backstory reveal, the camera pans over to show Vita sitting in the other room, slouched against a wall, crying. She clearly heard all of this. Amaya comforts her and tells her that she's totally important. You're kind, you're the best fighter on the team, your art makes anyone who looks at it smile, and, well, you matter to me. Amaya plants a kiss on her cheek and walks off. The next scene is of Lily training Amaya in the same way that RJ trained Casey. Household chores. Look, I know that's not actually how Lily herself was trained, but she's the only one of the main Jungle Fury trio who didn't get a solo training episode, which means that all she has is the Pai Shui, and I will not make the kind-hearted Yellow Ranger, and also my favorite Power Ranger of all time, Don't At Me, be the one to say, stay here forever until you've mastered all of your skills. Plus, I really like the Karate Kid version of training, and this is my video. Sue me. An alert comes from Zordon that they're under attack. Everyone else heads out, but Lily stops Amaya. Not until you finish training. Fighting without confidence is called dumb luck. Where the hell did you get lack of confidence from? Your muscles haven't relaxed since I met you. There's visible panic on your face every time something mildly dangerous comes your way, and you either freeze up or have a breakdown anytime something even comes close to hitting you. Now, I don't know you very well, but you're right. You don't know me. This is just what I'm like. Now get over yourself and actually train me for once, instead of making me your goddamn slave trying to psychoanalyze someone you met a week ago. Lily, sensing that she's hit a nerve, softens up. Alright, we'll take 5 and then come back to training. Not going into the field though. Just relax a bit. I thought I had an action figure for all 5 of the Megaforce Rangers. I don't. I only have one Pink Ranger action figure, and it's this one. Now we get an intercut scene of Amaya doing chores, crossed with the Rangers getting their asses handed to them by these creatures, the Bastikus of the Wolf and Cougar. Bastikus are the elite minions of Malouest. I've been referring to them in my notes as generals, but that's not fully the case. Think like the Rinchi Beasts from Jungle Fury, because that's actually exactly who I was inspired by. Yeah, so Amaya's doing her training while the Rangers are getting beaten up by the Bastikus, who currently have better who currently have better teamwork than the Rangers themselves. Amaya gets frustrated that she's just doing nothing except chores when she was promised training. Lily tells her, in mock aggression to show Vita how to handle when a student makes you angry, to get ready for sparring. She punches. Amaya catches the punch with a screwdriver motion and flips her over like she's watching a yoga mat. Lily chops to the stomach. Amaya blocks it with a motion like she's shoveling dirt. I I made this one up, I didn't get this one from a movie, so I don't have footage, just something like that. Lily grabs for the collar. Wax on, wax off. Amaya's face lights up with realization, and Lily softens back to her usual state of non-aggression. See, I trained you. And this time, you didn't even freeze up when I struck. Now, go out there and help your teammates. Amaya morphs and Zordon opens the door for her, coming in just in time. She attacks the wolf Pastiku, rolling with it using her fighting techniques she learned from Lily. With her final hit, she yells, "Jungle Beast! Spirit Unleashed! Release the cheetah!" And that finally morphs her into the Jungle Fury yellow costume. She goes, "Huh, wonder how that happened. No time to focus on it now!" Perry is in danger, pinned down by the cougar. The other rangers can't help her, being too busy with an army of Maladers. Amaya spots it and runs at them, knocking the Pastiku off the Pink Ranger. The two of them start fighting in sync, exactly the same way the two Pastiku were fighting the Rangers off earlier. They seem about to win, but then the wolf gets back up and runs at them, knocking them to the ground, taken so much by surprise that they can't get back up quickly, and when they're about to be taken out, boom! A burst of pink magic zooms in from nearby, knocking both Pastiku off the Rangers. Camera pans over to show Vita Raka holding out a damaged mystic morpher like a wand. "Well, what are you waiting for? Get up!" Amaya rises, dropping a hand down for Perry. "Come on, Mystic Pink." The Rangers, all together now that the Maladers are defeated, attack. Then, something unexpected happens. The monsters fuse and grow into something huge. Part 1 ends with the Rangers looking at what is quite literally their biggest threat yet. Episode 5, Pink Energy, the Amaya-Peri Power Hour, Part 2. The episode begins with the Rangers going into their suit's comm system to ask the mentors what to do. Most of them are, anyway. Perry knows what to do, just not how to do it. Yet. She runs back to Vita, saying, "Vita, I'm sorry for freaking out at you earlier, but there's really not time for lengthy apology. Teach me magic. We need to beat this thing." Got it. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry too. Meanwhile, Kevin and Damon are yelling, "Zords!" while Lily is telling Amaya, "You've already tapped into your animal spirit. The rest should be easy." Kevin takes charge of the situation and demands Zordon tell them how to access the Zords. He does so, and we hear his monologue about them, while we see a montage of Perry learning how to use magic. Hey, I realized while editing that I never actually showed off the Zords, so here they are. I only designed one, just the red one, because like the costumes and the morphers, it's identical. Yes, it looks stupid, that's intentional. Like the costumes, these Rangers aren't super developed Rangers yet. When Zordon finishes, Amaya calls, "Perry, get over here and help us!" "I'll help you in a better way soon. Until then, just hold them off." The other Rangers all summon their Zords and start fighting, with Amaya doing most of the heavy clobbering, since she is the only one who's managed to connect with her true Power Ranger. Perry starts to send out some weak blasts of magic, but it's doing little more than annoy the Pastiku. Finn calls to her over the comm system. "Hey, Perry, is this the better way you were talking about? Because if so, it's a pretty pathetic form of hell." Mindy shuts him up. "Finn, stop being a jerk. I remember this from the Historia. She's learning her magic. Right now it's weak, but the more confident she is, the stronger it gets." Perry asks if there's any way to make it go faster, and Vita tells her no, but in a way that she knows will help. "Not that I know of. This is in your hands now. You are worthy. You matter. You're a valuable member of this team. And you can beat that monster's ass!" With that vote of confidence, Perry is suddenly able to send out a massive burst of magic, and that is strong enough to stun the Pastiku for a good long time. While she casts it, she yells, "Ever-changing as the wind, Pink Mystic Ranger!" And, as Amaya did before her, morphs into her full costume, this time the Mystic Pink suit. Still a bit unsure though, she turns back to Vita. "What if we're not strong enough? You will be. But just in case, you probably have one good blast of magic left in this thing if you really need it. But trust me, you won't.
Peri blasts into the air, shooting out a few shocks of magic as she turns into the Mystic Sprite, because that's how the Mystic Force swords work. It's weird.
We see her in the cockpit cheering, clearly having way too much fun with this, and on kind of an adrenaline rush. Mindy comes over the comm system. We have everyone in their Zords! I read about this in the Historia. The 5 of us can merge. Peri interrupts her. Screw the Historia! Amaya, charge this thing with me. Everyone else, stay back and provide support. The gang goes ahead with the plan, partially because Mindy is clearly very intimidated by Peri at the moment. The fight seems to be going well, with Amaya doing good close-up damage and Peri hanging back and handling it from there. Then the beast gets the upper hand. Knocks Amaya away, leaving an opening. Peri starts giving orders again. T, Finn, go in and cover. Mindy, stay back and help our cheetah get back on her feet. They tried, but Amaya's animal spirit is weaker than she thought. Before Jungle Fury Yellow has a chance to get back up, the other 2 Zords get knocked away as well. With only herself, plus Mindy, but she isn't thinking clearly enough at the moment to consider her, Peri only sees one option. Vita, double strike with me! If the 2 of us work together to hit it with our strongest blast, we might just be able to make this thing meet its maker! If that's what you think is best. Vita and Peri combine and send out the strongest beams of magic they possibly can, and to everyone's amazement, it works. The Vestiku fusion explodes. Peri, ecstatic about the victory, unwarps and runs down to meet up with Vita and celebrate. Then things are worse than she realized. A lot worse. Vita is lying on the ground, Morphin shattered next to her. Suddenly, Peri's surge of adrenaline collapses, and she realizes just how royal she messed up. She drops to the ground, unable to even stand all of this happening. Then, of course, T comes over and adds salt to the wound. Peri, what in the goddamn hell was that? You charged in there, guns blazing, didn't let Mindy give any suggestions, completely stole the leadership role, nearly got us all killed. They go on like this for a while, and when they're finally done, all Peri can respond with is a weak, sorry. When T sees Vita, they immediately get to work trying to get her to the med bay. Clearly still pissed at Peri, but they can sort of tell why she needs to be left alone now. The next scene is of Peri walking in on Vita, who's in the med bay. Vita, I am so sorry. It's my fault you're in here. If I hadn't ignored Mindy and gone in guns blazing, the others wouldn't have gotten knocked back, and you would have needed to use your Morph one, and then... It's alright. I wasn't planning on using this thing more anyway. You are the new Pink Mystic Ranger. You sure? I'm sure. Your teammates might disagree, though. You might want to go talk to them. Peri goes out and apologizes to the team. Amaya, Mindy, and Finn are all pretty chill, but T is clearly still pissed off. Almost everyone else leaves, but Amaya stays there to comfort Peri. The episode ends with the 2 of them just sitting there, embracing. Episode 6. Ready to form Megazord! The episode begins with Malira berating the Cougar and Wolf for their failure in the previous episode. We get a little more explanation that I already told you of what the Vestikus are, and then we finally get the reveal of this episode's villain by saying that she'll hit the Rangers where it hurts. Past foes. Roll intro. The episode proper begins with T and Amaya trading off sparring with Mindy. They're clearly going easy on her, but training with Kevin is paying off, and she's beating them easily until they stop pulling punches. She's trying to explain how a Megazord works, but they're not really getting it. Partially because she's trying to explain while fighting, that's not usually very easy. They do like the idea of getting big and powerful though. Kevin enters to whisk Mindy away, and Peri enters so Amaya goes off to train with her. That leaves T by themselves. They go talk to Zordon, figuring they need a break from training anyway. Hey, Zordon, can I talk to you for a sec? I physically have no choice. I am trapped here, and I cannot move. Fair enough. So, I have a question. Why did Peri and Amaya's outfits change into those of their mentors? The morphers, along with the morphing grid itself, react to how a person sees themselves. Amaya and Peri finally saw themselves as the Yellow Jungle Ranger and Pink Mystic Ranger. So that's what they morphed into. Thanks. Is there any way I can do something like that since you haven't found my mentor yet? Possibly. You would need to finally put aside the idea of living up to someone else and just embrace being who you are. I understand how difficult that can be. Well, I can try. Until then, I suppose I'll just have to settle for being Next Generation Red. They turn to leave, but then they remember something else they wanted to ask as well. Hey, one other question. Why don't the mentors help us in fights? I feel like that'd be really useful. My teleportation powers are not as strong as they once were. After never mind. For the past few decades, I've only been able to teleport rangers who use their morphers on a regular basis. If a morpher hasn't been used in at least a year, my teleportation damages it. You saw what happened to Vina when she tried to use a damaged morpher. Also, too much pink energy is dangerous. I'm sorry. Pink energy is dangerous? Did I just hear those words come out of your giant floating mouth? Is that a sentence I just heard used unironically? My apologies, T-Ron. That was a joke I used to make with one of my previous ranger teams. One of the oldest, in fact. No matter. What I mean is, if you have too many rangers tapping into the same part of the morphing grid, the power starts to overload. Alright, thanks. Sorry for bugging you, I needed a mentor to talk to, and you're the closest thing I got. Of course. T tries to take a quick snack break, but it gets interrupted by a battle alarm. All 5 rangers run outside and are greeted by an army of foot soldiers they've never seen before. Those aren't Laders. No, they're not. They're the Rinshi, the foot soldiers used by Daishi in the Beast War, then again in 2008 to fight the Jungle Fury Rangers. Sorry, I read about... No, that's great! All I knew was Lily fought them. Well, whatever they are, we're taking them down! We have an extended morphing sequence to show Peri and Amaya fully morphing into their Pink Mystic and Yellow Jungle Fury costumes, along with T's half-hearted, Next Gen Red, morph. They fight their way through an army of Rinshi, letting Amaya and Peri really show off their fighting prowess in full-fledged ranger costumes. They push their way through the army, and when the rangers get to the top of the hill, they find, commanding them all, Camille? Jungle Fury Yellow, how nice to see you again. Lily, knowing who this is, starts feeding Amaya things to say. And look who it is, the chameleon who can look however she wants, and yet decided to be a shiny, oversized slime ball. I see your sense of humor hasn't changed one bit. Lily realizes this can't make sense, and starts feeding lines that should throw Camille off. Hey, how's Daishi doing? You two take over the world yet? Clearly not, seeing as you're still in it. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Say, are the overlords still an issue for you? Annoying as ever. Wait, why am I talking to you? To give me all the information I need. You're not Camille! Whoever you are, show yourself! The illusion disappears and is replaced by this dude, Ante Summon. Ante Summon shows off his main power and starts to summon a small army of past ranger villains. Serrator, Korag the Nightwolf, Furia, and of course, Camille. The Rangers try and all run in, but Anti-Summon stops T. No. You're mine, Red One. We get a big, wire-foo fight scene that ends in T getting knocked to the ground and unmoored. The other Rangers are all busy with their personal threats. Anti-Summon walks away, saying, "Pathetic. Will you goddamn monster stop calling me pathetic?" T gets up and charges Anti-Summon, tackling him unmorphed. A fight begins, and T morphs during the fight, proudly yelling, "Go Go Power Rangers! Next generation, Red Ranger!" The rage at being called pathetic once again, along with facing a foe that's never been faced before, makes T finally stop thinking of themselves as who they aren't, and just remember who they are. The person who studied the Rangers when everyone else thought they were a myth. The person who organized a team of Power Rangers to work together. The leader of the next generation Power Rangers. The Red Ranger. Finally thinking of themselves as something other than an imposter, T develops a Battleizer mode, and with it, they defeat Anti-Summon. Here's my design for T's Battleizer. Don't get too attached, it doesn't stick around for super long, but I still think it's cool. T, aided by the Battleizer, runs down and meets up with the other Rangers, who've all defeated their foes as well. They're all impressed with the Battleizer, right up until the moment that they look behind T and see Anti-Summon rising once more, and growing to be giant-sized. You puny Rangers didn't really think I could only summon your old foes, did you? No, I possess the powers of every foe the Rangers have ever faced. The team huddles, and Peri starts talking. Mindy, what was that you said the other day about our Zords combining? Right, there's a way to combine all our Zords into one Megazord. If we do that, we should be a lot stronger. Let's do it! Everyone, call your Zords! They summon their Zords and attempt to merge. Mindy, what now? We think as one. We merge our thoughts with the Zords. The Zords fly in formation. We focus on the Megazord. The Zords begin to merge. We form feet and legs. Transformation sequence begins. We form arms and body. And I'll form a head! Did you seriously just... I can't. T, that's a new one, even from you. What? I like old cartoons, okay? And besides, you set me up with your part. Can we please just focus on the threat at hand?
Okay, so, like with the base form Zords, I completely forgot to say anything to actually show off my Megazord design, so here it is. This is the base form. It never actually appears like this because it changes to match who's unlocked their Mentor Zords, but this is the center everything else expands from. Also, yes, it was low-key kind of inspired by Optimus Prime. Go watch James Farr's Transformers, it's great. Because halfway through drawing I realized this looks like a Transformer, and then I rolled with it and put a giant 1 on its stomach.
The team, all actually working together as opposed to against each other, clobbers Anti-Summon who, despite all his ego tripping, appears to only have the powers of growing big and hitting hard. The Megazord hits hard. Haphazard Megazord, we did it! Haphazard Megazord, is that really the best you can come up with? Look, it's not wrong. I suppose it isn't, but did you have to be so on the nose? The next scene is of the team hanging out in the Power Chamber lounge room. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention this earlier, but the Power Chamber has a lounge room. This is my floor plan for what the whole Power Chamber looks like. Roll with it. I like it. Mindy asks about the Battleizer. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I guess I just finally saw myself as team leader rather than someone who didn't deserve their position. They explain what Zordon said about the morphers matching how you see yourself. Wait, you were talking to Zordon? Yeah, why? Well, next time you're talking to him, I have a new question. Ask how he came back to life. I'm sorry, what the hell? Exactly. According to the Historia, back in 1998, Zordon was killed by the Red Ranger at the time, an alien by the name of Andros. Hang on, I have so many questions. Zordon actually said something about that. He said, after Andros, but trailed off before he finished. Also, the Red Ranger killed him? Is there any reason given? The energy from the blast was supposed to eradicate all evil from existence. That clearly didn't work. Damn. T sees that everyone else in the room is either uncomfortable or bored, and decides to change the topic. So, Peri, why haven't you asked Amaya out yet? Both girls do a spit take. What gave you that idea? Amaya shoots T a death glare. They ignore it. You get starry-eyed anytime you look at her, you get bright red anytime she comes up in conversation, and you got completely flustered when she kissed your cheek the other day. You clearly like each other. I can't tell what's taking you two so long. Mindy starts chanting in the background, do it, do it, do it. Well, I suppose if everyone can tell, let's just get the confusing ask out of the way. Will you go on a date with me? Yes! Everyone, friends, mentors, even Finn, who doesn't really know any of them and doesn't really show emotion, all celebrate. The episode ends with everyone cheering while Amaya kisses Peri on the cheek. Thank you all so much for watching to the end of this ungodly long video. This was a ton of fun to make, but it was also a pain to make. I don't like asking for this, but I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. It would mean the world to me, and also it would mean that you don't miss part 2 when it comes out in about a month. Plus, also the in-between videos that I do, so it's not just Power Rangers for months straight. And until next time, bye-bye!